Hey, welcome back to Well, That's Interesting. Let's celebrate whatever rights we have left by checking out this RSVP that contains the earliest known Latin written by a woman edition. Today is a bonus. We need to talk about this 2,000-year-old birthday invitation. My friends, my fellow Americans, if you happen to be listening to this episode on the day of its release, then you know tomorrow the United States celebrates 250 years of raw-dogging freedom and independence. And I feel you if you feel the hypocrisy. You might just need a distraction, and hell, you might just want to celebrate something else. If so, I've got you. Today we're going to cross the pond into modern-day England, and we'll be poking through the oxygen-free soil of an abandoned 1,900-year-old plus military barracks that was once the northern edge of the Roman Empire. Needless to say, since its first excavations in the early 1970s, this place has been a gift that keeps on giving, revealing the day-to-day life of those ancient times through priceless artifacts. We will learn of this place. We will learn of some of what's been found. We will learn who those objects belong to. And we will read from one of the coolest goddamn invitations ever discovered so far. It's made history. In the meantime, hi, I'm Jill Chacha, and if this is your first time listening, welcome to the flock, my festive business goose. A new, full episode will drop next week, and although I still have to pick the two topics, I can assure you they will probably leave you uncomfortable. To begin, I'm going to ask you to slap on your finest knee-high rubber boots because we're heading on over to a place filled with layers of mud, slop, and delicate remnants of the past that we'll need to dig out. We're on our way to a Roman fort in present-day Northumberland called Vindolanda. And for my fellow geographically challenged Americans who may be wondering where in the holy hell this is exactly, please, everyone, imagine England. Thank you. Now point to the very north, just before what's now the border with Scotland. Perfect. Now, if you move your finger from left to right over this narrow strip of land, from the Irish Sea coast to the North Sea coast, these 73 miles, or 117 kilometers, were once a complete wall, dubbed Hadrian's Wall. Hadrian, of course, was Emperor Hadrian of the Roman Empire for 20 short years, but like every other emperor before him, he was keen on being a total jerk who wanted nothing more than more land for Rome. As such, like many a jerk in the future, in the year 122, he ordered a wall built that would attempt to separate and protect the conquered lands in the south of England from, quote, the wretched Britons of the north, end quote. Despite all efforts, Rome had attempted and failed to conquer Scotland because, to this day, Scotland is badass. Anyway, put a pin in wretched Britons. We're going to get back to that phrase. In the meantime, now, this wall was actually a recent additional layer of fortification because just 37 years prior, in the wee year of 85, to the southeast of this wall, a series of connected military forts were built. A massive place called Vindolanda, which in Latin means white fields. Now, we may never know if this place was as tranquil as the name it bore, but we do have an extraordinary look into the everyday lives of generations who occupied it for 400 years, thanks to the soil lacking sufficient oxygen needed for decay. If you drop whatever bullshit you're holding right now and pick up your phone, open up today's post on the old social medias, you're going to see a series of objects that look as though they were made 5 minutes ago. Since the 1970s, archaeologists have plucked from these grounds leather shoes, combs and hairpins, cavalry straps made from copper alloy but they shine like gold, equally flamboyant decorations from horses' harnesses, and on occasion, they found swords. Yeah, one of those images in today's post is a member from archaeologist Andrew Burley's team, and she's holding a shallow wooden box, and in that box is an intact metal sword. And on her face is quite a smile. She is fucking beaming and living her best archaeologist life. Now, the blade of that sword is probably a good 2 feet in length, but if you swipe past this one, you'll see a photo of a very different kind of sword. It fits in the palm of an adult hand. Now, if you saw this and you said to yourself, holy shit, is that a wooden sword for a child? If you said that, you are absolutely right. As reported by Megan Gannon for LiveScience.com, researchers estimated that more than 1,000 soldiers lived at this site with several thousand other women, children, the enslaved, and freedmen. In an interview with archaeologist Andrew, he told Megan, quote, "The range of artifacts, not just toy swords, but also ladies' and children's shoes and bath clogs, show that the fort had a mixed community living inside the barracks. The barracks were most certainly cramped, and probably stunk of leather, rusting armor, sweat, charcoal and smoke, and of course, horses and dogs, all combined." End quote. Well, we can all smell that from here, and you know what? Here's another fun fact. Dating to around the year 90, yes, 90, the fort was occupied by 752 men who came all the way from what's present-day Belgium. But after tests and training, only 265 were considered fit for active service. And we know this embarrassing detail thanks to what's called the Vindolanda tablets. My equally fit business goose. Since March of 1973, 1,700 tablets have been found, each filled with the intimate details in the words of the people who lived there. According to BritishMuseum.org and curator Richard Hobbs, the tablets consist of thin slices of wood around the size of postcards, on which to this day we can read cursive Latin in black ink. Now, most of the tablets date to around the year 100, and although the land has preserved these postcards from the past, they're still in somewhat rough condition. If you swipe past that adorable little sword used to teach children the joy of violence, you can see what these tablets look like when they're dug up. They kind of look like damp shards of wood with unintelligible black scribblings on them. Deciphering and translating this soggy mess takes years of painstaking, careful work, which so far has been carried out by two tired paleographers named Alan Bowman and David Thomas. I think we should give them a round of applause. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Now, their hard work has led to that fun fact and to the discovery of around 30 unique, quote, military reports, which tell us who was present and correct at particular times. Unique, too, are requests for leave, for example, from a soldier called Messicus, who requests leave at nearby Coria, what is now Corbridge. One document describes the fighting habits of the locals, who are referred to disparagingly as wretched Britons. There it is. While, in another letter, a junior officer complains to his superior, "My fellow soldiers have no beer. Please order some to be sent." End quote, from BritishMuseum.org. So, we have drunken soldiers, disparaging remarks, all in the military. It's all so familiar. But seriously, unpin that pin from before. I did a little digging, no pun intended, and I found additional details from that scandalous, disparaging tablet. Quote, "The Britons are unprotected by armor. There are very many cavalry. The cavalry do not use swords, nor do the wretched Britons mount in order to throw javelins." End quote. So, in a tale as old as time, we have written proof showing occupying forces analyzing and attempting to eliminate the indigenous. But in this case, the annoyed Romans just can't find a way to get rid of those Scots, despite their lack of armor and swords. Now, not only are military secrets revealed, but every so often, civilian life comes into focus. A piece of wood, no thicker than a piece of paper, honestly, was found in the late 1990s. And if you take a peek at the final image over at today's post, you'll see a nearly complete 8-inch long by 3-inch wide invitation that has 2 different handwritings on it. Let's get into it. Written between the years 97 and 103, one side of the letter contains the name of the sender and the addressee. Quote, "To Sculpitia Lipidina, wife of Cyrillus, from Claudia Severa." End quote. On the other side is a party invitation, and the text, according to a translation from the British Museum, reads as follows. Quote, Claudia Severa, to her Lipidina, greetings. On September 11th, sister, for the day of the celebration of my birthday, I give you a warm invitation to make sure that you come to us, to make the day more enjoyable for me by your arrival, if you are present. Give my greetings to your husband, Cyrillus, my husband, Aelius, and my little son. Send him their greetings. End quote. Now, all of this is written with elongated, precise lettering. It is gorgeous, and it really puts anything I've ever written by hand to absolute shame. It's believed this handwriting belongs to a professional scribe to whom the message was dictated. Now, all of this is exceptional in itself. It shows what skills were in demand and by who could afford them. In this case, a woman called Claudia Severa, the wife of a fort commander named Aelius Brachus. Claudia herself, however, isn't illiterate, and we have undeniable proof. In a second handwriting style in the lower right-hand corner, Claudia added her personal touch to this letter with her own handwriting. Quote, I shall expect you, sister. Farewell, sister, my dearest soul, as I hope to prosper and hail. End quote. Ooh, well, my dearest business goose, according to the British Museum, these endearing words are the earliest example of a woman's handwriting from anywhere in the Roman Empire. And her words aren't about colonizing or war. In this letter, Severa invites her friend Sculpicia, the wife of another fort commander, Flavius Cyrillus, to her birthday party. And only Sculpicia, by the way. I sincerely hope Sculpicia attended, and that they ran off together. I am just getting that vibe. I don't know. What do you think? It's quite the letter. She's like, my dearest soul. She wrote it in her own handwriting. She took it from the scribe. She's like, I got this part. Girl. And thank you for listening, rating, subscribing, celebrating this birthday with me. You know which one. Any full-length episode, a new one will drop next week, so please be sure to tune in. And a lusty thanks to the folks over at Airwave Media, the podcast network to which WTI belongs. If you love this show, and you do, you love the other podcasts in this family, and please, stay interesting.